So the second track on this record is a song called Quest. Song called Quest. This song started as a riff brought to us by our old bassist Sharif Ado, and basically we had that for a bit, and the section that comes right after that first vocal break was something James brought after he had heard the first riff and sort of expanded on it. I love when that kind of thing happens.
When writing this song, I wanted to have a more like realized verse, chorus, bridge format on the EP. I don't really think there's any voyages, maybe, but there's pretty much just like section, figure it out what verse chorus is. It was my first like really stable effort to be like, all right, I want this to be the verse, I want this to be the chorus. I call it the dad rock song.
The dad rock song.
And then it's all like bluesy. There's a lot of inspiration from Every Time I Die. I know that doesn't sound like it would make sense, but they have a lot of really cool riffs, and I really just wanted to make a song that had a lot of really cool riffs. So this was my attempt at making a song that had a lot of cool riffs.
I think it was this one and Concrete that were the first two that were completed. We were playing this one on tour back in like 2014. I was kind of sick of this song because it was so old and I had been listening to it forever. But what's cool is now it might be one of my favorites on the album because of how elevated Sam made it sound. The mix is awesome. There are some parts where in my writing approach for vocals, I'll write rhythms and melodies that sound really cool over something, and I'll have the general idea. There might be like two notes that could change, or one note could come in a little earlier, the duration of one note is a little too long, things like that. And Sam is there to really like finesse and hone in what the line should sound like. And so yeah, he really did a great job on this song, polishing it off. I remember the chorus actually started on 1. How could that whole thing? But I think it starts a little later now. That was Sam's fault.
The conscious decision to make this vocal a more distorted, like filtered kind of sound came pretty late in the game. We just thought it needed something different than the other tracks, and it totally worked for the song.
You know, I didn't hear the vocals for this until just a couple of months ago, and they blew me away. Nothing but compliments to Adam on this one. I really dig it. I also really like how my role is serving up the ambience, which is something that I do enjoy doing. I like being able to just sit back and listen to everyone else panic and worry while I just go. That's fun.
The middle section where the piano and guitar come in, when we ultimately played it, we had Richard Blumenthal, who is now our official keyboardist, playing along with me with those chords in the center. And if you listen really carefully, you can actually hear his piano bench kind of creaking in the microphones. Sometimes you want to like try really hard to get rid of that stuff, but I didn't really seem to mind it. Made it a little more real. And I'll always remember that time we were there tracking on an untuned piano.
I don't remember a whole lot about the recording process for Quest.
Anyway, that song also leads into like, I'm probably gonna say this about every song, but like one of my favorite parts on the record, just that whole like groove section in the middle where the tone totally changes up, both for the guitars and just like emotionally, as we get into like that larger groove section, and we have this like really cool explosive chorus-y kind of thing with the first pop thing we kind of tried to do. That was fun to figure out. Another
Cool thing about this song is the clean section. I had the big, huge belty line. That whole bridge part was done and completed, but there's a little really, really cool Coheed and Cambria type vocal melody, like choir-like thing going on O, and that's all Sam's doing.
Sam has a really sick guitar solo in this song too.
The guitar solo on this song, there's a lot of guitar solos in this album, which I'm happy with. My favorite record for like guitar tone reference as of like the past few years has still been Dream Theater's Black Clouds and Silver Linings. If you haven't heard it, check it out.
So that's nice. Let me see what else I'm missing here. Give me one second.
For me, this song was a really good way to practice double bass, like foot independence, because there's a lot of like 16th note to 16th note triplet runs in there that are cool.
This is the thrilling footage that you're looking for.
Jake Umansky totally killed it on this song. The first time I heard a demo with distorted picked bass on the front end of this track was just like so heavy, and it was everything I ever wanted it to be. Right before the last drop, There was originally just a little like kind of guitar filtered riff. We thought we would try and have a bass play it instead, and when Jake tried it out, he gave us this like really sick slap bassing riff leading to the last section, and it was just like, it was perfect.
My favorite thing on this song right now is the groove, the that section is really sweet. What kills me now, and I go back and listen to this like every day now that the thing's done, James' dead notes or ghost notes on the snare there are so awesome.
This was like the first song that I sent everyone like a guitar profile, and then Sam sent me another guitar profile back and was like, alright, this is what the song is. And it was the first one where I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Dad will love this record because it's full of dads. Dads.
Sam does a really good job at implementing like the real garbage Guitar Pro charts that I write and being like, I think this is what James meant by this, and then being 100% right all the time, which kind of gets annoying, but I love it.
Anything else? Vote on your phones about this song. Am I wearing pants? James is right.
I want to talk about, okay, in Dizziness, there's a riff that they call the dad riff, and they just picture people being on motorcycles. And I think that the opening riff to this sounds more like motorcycles than Dizziness does. I know that's a bold claim, so, you know, leave a comment on whether you think that. I think that sounds more like a motorcycle, more evocative of the ride or die lifestyle than anything that's in Dizziness. So I know them's fighting words, but you let me know if you're with me or with those guys. That's about it. It's a good song. Quest.